So I think you have a non-hand call here, right?
Yeah, so a little before COVID, I was playing in Maryland live, and it's about 6 a.m. on a weekday, and a woman from the pits comes to play poker. It's obvious she's never played poker online live. I mean, she doesn't even know that she could touch her cards when it's her turn to act. And as I'm sitting to her left, we're all looking at her waiting, like, you can touch your cards, you have to look at them. And she does whatever, and then it comes back around to her, and she loses the hand, and we're all salivating. Yes, finally some, real fishy action. But the interesting part is when she looks at me and kind of wants me to help her with her hand, and obviously I kind of try to ignore her for a second and say, I can't help you during the hand. But there's another hand a few minutes later where she's at showdown, and she doesn't know that she's supposed to turn her cards over. She's used to, in the pitch, the dealer's handling the cards, and everyone's kind of waiting for her. And I tell her her options. If you want to have a chance to win the hand, you have to turn your cards over. You can fold your cards. And I know I would never do this for somebody who played poker at all,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
but this is a 1-3 game at 6 in the morning. I didn't tell her what to do, what her best options are.
Right.
And also, by the way, nobody at this point has said don't help her, because I during a hand, I never told her what the best play was, just her options. So I don't know what to do. Is I want to foster an environment where people like this come to the poker room and feel
So
welcome,
so it appears
but I
that
also don't
this
want to violate basic rules of,
so it
the game.
appears that this lady has obviously just maybe never even played the game before, or just never have played
Correct.
it in somewhat of a serious setting.
But she didn't even know she could handle her cards. The first hand she sat down, she literally was like waiting for, like you played in the pits, and you know how
Right.
there's some
Right. You
games where they
can't
don't
touch the
really want
cards. Sure.
exactly. She didn't even realize it wasn't like that.
Right.
That's how the lack of knowledge that we were dealing with
I
here.
mean, listen, if you're gonna there can be some really really miserable people down at the low stakes, like guys, the grinder types that aren't really winning players. It's usually the sort of the old man coffee type, right? But it can be some younger people too that are just absolutely miserable. I mean, why anyone would object to you obviously helping somebody who's never even played the game before, who doesn't know that she can't touch her cards, by just saying, I'm not talking about playing the hand, just saying, hey, like, the action's on you. You have to turn your hand over. I mean, I would do the same thing. Maybe you stop after a couple times, but if somebody were to, get angry at you because they were like her opponent and you said to her, oh, you have to actually table your hand in order to be shown. And it's not like she's not mucking because she doesn't think she's the winner. She just doesn't know what to do. If somebody's complaining about that, that person is a miserable SOB. Is that what happened? Was somebody complaining to you that you said
No,
that she
I
has to turn her hand over?
nobody really complained, but the guy who it ended up being like a $300-400 pot at 1-3, and he was mad he lost the hand because you're not supposed to lose hands to this type of person.
Uh huh.
But he didn't say anything to me, but he was visibly annoyed he lost the pot, so I kind of apologized. And this is what you said was along the lines of my thinking was, I want her to basically be comfortable. But I mean, there's a person who the woman who didn't know anything. There was a hand where she had 4-6, and there were four jacks out and a six, and she thought she had four of a kind. But obviously, any person with a seven or above wins the hand, and
Right.
she had gone all in previously, so she clearly like if you lose now, just stay in the game and the money eventually be
Right. And I
lost.
think in that particular situation, what I would do, I have nothing, you always want to make the game very, very welcoming, especially to entirely new people. But where you cross the line, obviously, is you can't get involved in a situation where you're at that point where a hand needs to be revealed and maybe somebody doesn't know how to read the board, you just wouldn't say anything. Where I would say, like, in these situations, I can't really say anything. But, if she doesn't know where the action is, or she doesn't really know how to play the game, or doesn't know how to put the blind out, I think that that's all fine. But nothing about like advice for the hand, nothing about
of
what
course.
hands beat. You could say one time, listen, like at the end, just turn your cards over. And this is what I would say. In this game, if you turn your cards over, your hand is live. So just always turn your cards over. You can say that one time in between hands, and then that's going to be as explicit as, and that's what I would do. I would just say it one time. Just turn your fucking cards over. By the way, I tell people to do that in Omaha 8 too that have never played. And people at the high stakes of Omaha 8, because I play at the highest stakes of Omaha 8 that can go. Mm-hmm. Right? Like 150, 300, sometimes over the summer, but 75, 150. Even we will turn our hands over when like boards get complex, usually doing like where it's 5 cards that are unpaired below an 8 on the board. I'm not going to sit there. If I can't figure it out, I'll just turn it over. Now the hand's live. Now other people can help me read the hand unless I've missed something. You know what I mean? It's not like even a thing. People just do it. It's not even, it's not even a thing. You just turn your hand over. Now, some people in the live chat are saying it's the dealer's job to do that. Tell it's the dealer's. Guys, I don't know what game. Again, obviously things are different from club to club depending on where you are. Okay? But where I cut my teeth in Southern California, I am not depending on the dealer to do anything. They do nothing. They are like a machine that pitches cards. They don't control the game. They're supposed to, but they just don't. So you can't say it's the dealer's job. We've seen time after time after time failed dealers, failed rulings. They're just a card pitcher. If you take it from that attitude, so obviously some do better than others, some actually will, but you can't depend on the dealer to control the game. You can't depend on the dealer to do it. Just doesn't happen. At least, like I said, like in Southern California where I come from. So, that's basically what I would do, So,
yeah, nobody complained, and that's kind of why I felt okay just giving her options, for a few minutes as she played, and she eventually lost all her money, reloaded, lost all her money.
Sure, of course, right?
So I wanted to make sure she had a good experience and come back and lose some more money. Obviously it was selfish in that way, but I would want someone to do the same thing for me if I didn't know. Just be friendly.
No, absolutely.
Enjoy the time there,
Yeah, no, and like you said, nobody really no one got mad at you though, right?
No one got mad. Just people, the one in the big pot where I did say, these are your options at the river. You have to turn your card over to win. He was annoyed he lost the pot, but he wasn't mad at me at all. He was pretty chill about it. And that was the only time I was really worried, like, because I knew that she could win the hand, but I didn't want to tell her that.
No, I get it.
Again, that would mean looking at her cards, and I one hand per person, So
no, I know.
No, nobody complained, and it was pretty chill. I was just curious about your thoughts on this kind of weird.
Yeah, I would just try to make it, like I said, I would try to make it as welcoming as possible, and I can't imagine somebody would get on you for doing that. You know what I mean? But thanks for the call. If you like what you've seen here, please hit the subscribe button. And if you enjoyed this call-in hand, hit the like button down below. To check out crushlivepoker.com, click on the link in the description. Use the code YTA300 to get the first 30 days for free.